Welcome to Queen's Quest, the show for anyone tired of waiting for things to happen and who's ready to start making them happen. Every week, we'll discuss actionable strategies to unlock your full potential and turn your ambitions into achievement, all with the spiritual foundation. The goal is to ignite the fire inside of you, to increase the passion for the journey you're on, and to breathe new life into what feels stuck. We'll close the gap between where you are and where you want to be. I am your host, the Queen of Landry. Your future starts now. I was debating if I was going to talk about Black History Month because I feel I'm Black 365 days of the year, and I celebrate in different ways all throughout the year. But as I reflected on it, I thought I could maybe flip it a little bit, add a little different perspective to celebrating women in Black history and turn it into her story instead of history. You see how I did that? So grab your journals and pens. You may learn something new along the way, or it may be a refresher for some things you already know about Black history, but we're going to talk about her story. Hey, girlfriends, let's start with the T. T stands for transparency, evidence, and authenticity. Now, just a little personal story I'm going to start off with. I've been a dark skinned Black woman my entire life. When I was younger, people would tell me you're pretty for a dark skinned girl. At that time, I didn't know how to take it, so I would say thank you because I was a respectful little kid. And yes, it would come from people from my own race. Now, me being an adult, I feel like that was not a compliment. From my point of view, or POV, it has the undertone that dark skin is not pretty. And I'm like the exception to the rule. Now, for my husband's POV, he says it's a compliment on my dark skin. So my response is, do you go up to a brown skinned girl and say, oh, you're pretty for a brown skinned girl? Or do you go up to a light skinned girl and say, hey, you're pretty for a light skinned girl? Probably not. Hey, I don't know though, because I've been dark skinned my entire life. So, with that being said, if you guys want to leave a comment and maybe you guys have encountered your own type of, racism or stereotypic situations that you want to share, feel free. For me and my story, I didn't feel like my blackness was beautiful because those comments they came. My parents poured into me, not even knowing that I was going to need that, but understanding that my black was beautiful and girls need to be lifted up and complimented, and just understanding being a black female just in society. My parents, they really don't know how much that has helped me. So to my parents, thank you, Jazetta and Steve. I love you for that because you guys have really most definitely added to my confidence level and not feeling inferior, because as a little girl, I did feel inferior because of the complexion of my skin. So now I do totally understand from the inside out that my black is beautiful and I am beautiful. Okay? Just a little personal story. On today's episode, as stated, we're going to talk about her story. We're going to look at a couple of women in each industry, and I'll give just a little background, some information I knew, some information I didn't know. But as I research things, and I said it before, this podcast is really helpful to me because I'm learning along the way. So these women, they speak to all ages, whether you're discovering your power or you're a seasoned queen, continuing your evolution. They're going to help and they're going to be impactful. So let's kick it off with science and technology. We have Katherine Johnson. She was a NASA mathematician. Her calculations sent astronauts into orbit and to the moon. Now, she is a symbol of brilliance, persistent, and breaking the barriers in STEM. There was a movie about her called Hidden Figures. Check it out. It's on all your favorite streaming apps, and it will shed light on her journey and how she was so impactful. Another lady in this category is Dr. Gladys West. She's one of the creators behind the GPS system. Now, her mathematical models made modern navigation possible. She literally helped us find our way, metaphorically and physically. So we all appreciate her and use her to this day. The next industry is business and entrepreneurship. We have Madam C.J. Walker. She was the first self made woman millionaire. She built a hair care empire during a time when Black women had no seat at the table. Okay? She is proof that innovation can shift an entire economy. Yes, there is a movie about her as well and her life and her come up. It's called Self Made. Check her out. Another lady in this category is Sheila Johnson. She is the co founder of BET. She is the first Black woman billionaire in America. That happened in 2021. That was just 25 years ago, ladies. So it's never too late, okay? Do not give up on your dreams. You do not know where it's going to take you. So just keep pushing and persevering. Now she is a powerhouse in hospitality and entertainment and sports. Go ahead, girl. Next category is arts and entertainment. Josephine Baker. Now, she was a performer and global icon. She broke color barriers in entertainment with her distinctive dance style and her unique costumes. She used her platform to support civil rights and resistant movements. There is a story on her called The Josephine Baker Story. And in the film, it takes you on a journey of her life, her career, and also her humanitarianism that she did along the way. And it's very enlightening. So I encourage you guys to check that out. Also in this category is Ava DuVernay. She's a groundbreaking filmmaker. She's the first Black woman to direct a film nominated for Best Picture. This happened in 2014 for the movie Selma. 2014, ladies, not that long ago. So as you can see, we're continue breaking barriers from past and also present. She opens doors for storytellers who've been overlooked. Thank you. Next category is literature and education. We're going to look at Toni Morrison. She's a Nobel Prize winning author. Her first novel, The Bluest Eyes, was published in 1970. She gave voice to the stories the world tried to silence. Her novels expanded the global literary canon. Check her out. I know I'm most definitely going to be picking up some books that she has written. Next in this category is Dr. Janetta B. Coleman. She's an anthropologist and former Spelman president. She's an architect of Black women's education. She trained generations of leaders in culture, academia, and business. Give it up for Dr. Janetta Coleman. Next is health and medicine. We have Dr. Rebecca Lee Crumpler. She's the first Black woman physician. This occurred in 1864. She practiced medicine when women weren't even welcome in the field, let alone Black women. So she broke barriers of not just being Black, but also being a woman. So therefore, she was knocking the barriers down like nothing could stop her. Great story. We also have Henrietta Lacks. Now, her cells revolutionized medicine. Now, she has an interesting story. Lacks cells were harvested without her knowledge, and her family didn't even know about it until the early 1970s. Hela cells, which is HELA, helped create vaccines, cancer treatments, and medical breakthroughs that are still saving lives today. Her story gained widespread attention through Rebecca Sloat's 2010 book, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. Like, that was crazy. They taken her cells, she didn't even know about it. Next category is sports and athletic leadership. Now, Serena Williams, she's a tennis legend. She dominated the sport for over 2 decades with 23 Grand Slam single titles, the most in the Open era. Dominance, discipline, and redefining what power looks like. Go ahead, Serena. We also have FloJo, Florence Griffin Joyner, the fastest woman in history. And guess what? Her record still stands. No one has broken it yet. She is a blueprint in performance and individuality. Go ahead, Flo. Now that we've highlighted some incredible women, and this is just a few ladies, it's so many more wonderful women that I could have talked about, and there's just so many different categories and industries I could have spoke on. Again, I was just giving a few, so you guys can do your own research and just have like an aha moment in some of those categories and sit back and appreciate Black women. Now I'm going to shift just a little bit into a moment of reflection. Something we do here on Queen's Quest. We take in history, we're taking inspiration and turning it into activation because their stories aren't just information, they're invitations. Invitations to rise, invitations to stretch, invitations to grow, and invitations to show up differently in our own lives. So let's dive into a few legacy lessons. Grab your journals, get your pens out if you haven't already, because we're going to pull directly from their journeys that we can apply to ours today. Okay? Legacy lesson number one, use what you have. Katherine Johnson didn't wait for perfect circumstances. She didn't wait for invitation or approval. She used the gift she had, her mind, and she let God amplify it. Write this in your journal. Where in life are you waiting for permission to use the gift God already gave you? Good question. Okay, next legacy lesson. Number two, build what you don't see. Madam C.J. Walker didn't see spaces created for Black women in beauty and business, so she created them. She didn't wait for a lane, she paved one. Okay? Journal prompt, write this down. What problem frustrates you enough to build a solution for it? Come on, innovators. Legacy lesson number three, tell the story only you can tell. Toni Morrison reminded us that if a story hasn't been written, then you write it. Your voice carries perspective, it carries wisdom, it carries pain, it carries joy and purpose that no one else on earth can duplicate. Write this in your journal. What part of your story have you been scared to speak out loud, even though it could set someone else free? That's going brave. Legacy lesson number 4: break limits loudly. Serena Williams didn't shrink her greatness to make people comfortable. She didn't apologize for her excellence. She broke records and did it with power. She did it with style, and she did it with conviction. Journal question: where have you been dimming your light, and what would happen if you let it shine fully this week? Let that little light shine. Legacy lesson number 5: leave a mark that outlives you. Henrietta Lacks didn't even know her sales would change the world. That's the beautiful thing about purpose. Sometimes we don't realize the impact we're making while we're making it. Journal question: what seeds are you planting today that your future self or future generations will thank you for? Come on, legacy leavers. These women weren't superheroes. They were human, just like me and just like you. But they made a decision. They made a decision to step into purpose, even when the world felt too loud, even when they felt too many limits or too overwhelming. So, my challenge for you this week is simple: choose one of these legacy lessons and live it out intentionally. No, not perfectly, intentionally. Because her story isn't just about what they did, it's about what you're called to do next. Your journey matters, your voice matters, your impact matters. Girlfriend, your future starts now. Okay, I'm gonna do this poem. It's called Born a Fire, Built for Flight. I hope this encourages you, to give you the strength, the courage to run your race. She is the echo of women who rose before sunrise, the daughters of brilliance who learned to shine in the dark. She is the whisper of prayers carried through generations, a living reminder that purpose always finds its mark. She walks in footsteps paved by courage, on roads that laid by hands that never knew rest. Women who dreamed beyond the borders of their reality and dared to believe that God called them blessed. She carries their strength in her spine, their vision in the cradle of her mind. She is history written in power, her story unfolding divine. So she rises again and again, a mosaic of every queen who refused to shrink. She is the future wrapped in faith, the miracle that makes the world stop and think. Let the world remember her not for perfection, but for the fire she chose to ignite. A woman born of legacy and built, always built for flight. I hope you ladies enjoyed that poem. It really is just to ignite you and encourage you to be best version of yourselves. Before we close today, I want to leave you with a little preview of what we're going to do next week, because her story isn't finished, not even close. We've honored the legends who've carved the path, but next week we're going to shine the spotlight on the women who are shaping today. Innovators, the disruptors, the storytellers, the queens rewriting the rules right now. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Join me next week. This is the Queen of Landry, sending you peace, love, and favor.